Leave your comments below and let me know what you guys think about these matchups, and I'll see you next time on the Detroit Lions Fonza. Later. What's up, everyone? I hope you guys enjoyed another good week of football. We had a lot of great games week 4. The Lions and the Packers, it was a pretty fun game to watch. I did not know the Lions were going to do as good as they did, but they did kill themselves on a lot of mistakes. They had a couple chances to win that game, but they got to get rid of the mistakes. Couple turnovers and the penalties, but other than that, I think they played some decent football. Not great football, but just decent football. Enough that they'll win some games, but they got to play a lot better if they're going to expect to hang with teams like the Packers and other teams in our division. Miami they got a butt-tapping history lesson last night from the Patriots, but I still expect them to bounce back after their bye, because how they got beat it's just like they got beat in every way possible. But the Dolphins aren't that bad, so had a lot of crazy finishes too. Falcons game, then you had the Colts game. Didn't surprise they lost, but Peyton Manning still looked pretty good. It was mainly their defense that couldn't really stop much of anything, but that was another fun game. And now heading on to the next week. Oh yeah, not to mention the Rams, but the first game we're going to talk about is Jacksonville and Buffalo. I'm going to go with the Jags here. I think they're going to try and continue that fire, but we'll see what happens here. But I'm going to go with Jacksonville, and then you got Denver and Baltimore. That's going to be a good game right there, but man. I'm going to go with Baltimore, but that's going to be that should be a fun game, especially on watching the defensive side of the ball. That's going to be a fun game to watch. Then you got Atlanta and Cleveland. Cleveland got their first win against Cincinnati. Usually in the AFC North, all the division games are usually close, and no one ever blows anybody out. Well, recently anyway. So that should be a good game, but I think it's in Cleveland. Atlanta just snuck past having these close matchups, but I think I'm going to go with Atlanta just because I think that they're trying to get on a roll, but this is going to be a close game. Then you have Kansas City and the Colts. I think Kansas City I think they're going to get their first loss here. Got Peyton Manning and the Colts, and it's going to be in Indy. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Colts here, but Chiefs are still looking good, but I think they're going to get their first loss right here. And then you got Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. Paul Brown Stadium. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. Sure. Well, I'm not sure what too much to expect. I want to see what Josh Freeman's going to do against this Cincinnati defense, if he can, or if they're going to try and run the ball. So that should be an interesting game. And then you have Green Bay and Washington. I'm going to go with it is in Washington, but I'm going to have to go with Green Bay. I think they're just a little more consistent, a little more firepower right now. The Redskins, their offense, especially their pass game, really needs to get going. So I'm definitely going to have to go with Green Bay right here. And then you have Chicago and Carolina. In this game, I'm going to go with I'm gonna Steve Smith might not play, so that might hurt the Carolina offense. But that's a tough game to choose. Chicago's offensive line really did fail them, and Cutler's got to get rid of the ball a little quicker. This is a game that's gonna go right down to the wire, but I'm gonna have to go with man, that's a tough one to pick. I'm gonna have to go with Chicago. I'm gonna go with Chicago by around 3-7. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chicago, and then you got the Giants in Houston. I'm gonna go with Houston here. The Giants did get their first first win in a while from their losing streak they were just on. Their defense was looking pretty nice. They're definitely going to get a shot. They've been having a hard time with that, so this could be a good game. But I think Houston's going to put up more points, so therefore I'm going to go with Houston. Giants still need to get their offense together because they're having just these turnovers of their run game, and their pass game is still not where I think it can be, so I'm going to go with Houston here. And then you got the Saints in Arizona. I'm going to go with the Saints. Arizona, they need to figure out their identity. I don't know what they're doing right now. Too bad Kurt Warner's gone. Maybe they'll get it together eventually. We'll see, though. Got Tennessee and Dallas. This game, it's going to be in Dallas, so because of that fact, I think I'm going to go with Dallas here. They had their bye to really think things over after their first win. I think they're going to try and come out and just do what they do. try and get some wins here. So I'm going to go with Dallas. Shouldn't be a blowout, but yeah, I'm going to go with Dallas. And then you got San Diego and Oakland, another division game, so this should be a good one. It's in Oakland. I'm going to go with San Diego, though. It's going to be 10-point game, but I'm going to go with San Diego on this one. Could be worse, because the Raiders have been coming out and playing. They just haven't been able to finish some of these games that they could be winning, but yeah, I'm going to go with San Diego. Then you got Philadelphia and the 49ers. I'm pretty sure Cobb will be playing. Doesn't really 49. They keep screwing themselves over. They got to find a way to win. I'm going to go with Philadelphia here. And then you got Minnesota and the Jets on Monday. Oh, that's going to be a good game. And this game, I'm not sure what Minnesota's going to come out and do because they have their bye and everything. So I'm pretty sure they have somewhat of a game plan. But I'm going to have to go with the Jets here. Not 100% what to expect from this game, but I think the Jets are going to be able to come out with this one. Their pass game is a little more on fire than the Vikings pass game, and they both have decent run games. So, and then the defense on both sides are pretty good, but as I said, the Jets are a little more consistent with the pass game. So I think it gives them the edge there. So I'm definitely going to go with the Jets here. That's going to be a I'd be surprised if the score goes beyond 24 points for each team. I don't expect it to be a shootout, so it's going to be a little more low scoring. Anything past 24, and that means there must be a lot of turnovers or some special teams action going on like we saw last night. But then you have Detroit Lions and the St. Louis Rams. Save that game for last. I'm not 100% sure what to expect because I'm not sure which Lions are going to show up or which Rams are going to show up, but I'm looking forward to this game. The Rams aren't doing bad. I'm hoping the Lions can get a win because last year they got their first win off of us, so I think it's time we repay the favor and get our first win off of them, and it will be in Ford Field yet again. I'm looking for this to be a pretty good game. The Rams are probably going to come out with their screen attacks too because they did a lot of screens last week. They were pretty effective too, so we're going to have to watch out. Like I've been saying all year, Detroit's got to get better at with the screens, with the linebackers and all. And then you have Sean Hill didn't look too bad in that Green Bay game. He did have a couple throws that were not too good, but in the red zone, I think Detroit needs to run on one of their downs when they get down in the red zone instead of passing the whole time. I think that kind of hurt us, and we ended up with too many field goals. And got to get rid of the penalties, but this is going to be an interesting game to watch, and I think Detroit will come out on top by 3, maybe to 7. It should be fairly close unless, you know, something out of the ordinary happens like turnovers or just special teams like I said earlier in that other game, which was the Minnesota Jets game. But I think Detroit can get it done here at home. We'll see though. It should be an interesting game. The Rams are playing some good football. Not great either, but good football. They're winning some games right now, and Rams are making their way up the list, and Detroit is much better than the 0-4 record that they are at. I believe Detroit is also a 2-2 team at least, because they're not bad. I would say they're about maybe a little below average because they still have some things to work on, but they're definitely coming up, and they're much better than both teams are much better than they were last year. And we'll see how this game goes down. And leave your comments below and let me know what you guys think about these matchups. And I'll see you next time on the Detroit Lions Fonza. Later.